Hello, how you guys doing? You're probably wondering what's on my phone. This is my sister, and this is her mother, and this is me taking a picture. Um, Let me give you a story about my sister, and this is to the women out there who are single, who's looking for a husband. This is my sister's husband. This is my sister's husband. My sister, give a little background. I hope she don't mind me sharing the story because she has my uh, own YouTube account. But my sister is 48 years old. She's a woman, got two kids. She's a woman that been married once before, and she married her son's dad. And like most relationships, it don't work out too well, and two people go about their different ways. My She got two grandbabies. Her oldest daughter got two grandbabies. But after the between the the daughter's child and her son's child, there was a brief period like most women, they date, they get in relationships, and they go in and out of relationships, and she made you know the men that she thought didn't measure up in as far as their character. Few of them had a good job, uh, and it's just some things in life people don't see eye to eye. And I'm about before I go into this video, why I point this out about my sister, um, who's married. This is my sister. She's a pretty young lady. This is my sister. My sister been through hell, and I mean literally, she's a good woman. She take care of her kids, raised her kids, did the whole 9 yards. I mean, she's been had health problems, been through all kind of issues. Why and taking care of her health, she sacrificed her health trying to always help other people. She take care of a lot of elderly people, disabled children. She works hard. She's a hard working woman. And but one thing about my sister is that she finally got them. She got the man, and they found each other. They come to find out these two were childhood sweethearts. They were childhood sweethearts, but they eventually came back. Marlon works for Amazon, and I believe he's a driver. He, like most young men, we all had a ripping and running. But he's a good dude. He's a good man. He's about my height, about 5'9". But they love each other. This is black love for some people like this, because people. But what makes my sister a special person is that she didn't ask for too much. All she wanted was just to be happy, and she got. And I'm pretty sure that's the same way with Marlon. He probably want to find somebody to be happy with. But it was a humbling experience. Before I get to this video about this, let me give you a testimony. Why? And this is directly to the women who got this high mindset. She met her boyfriend. He had a real good job, but he was lacking maturity as far as certain, and he had his own children, but he was lacking maturity. Even though he had a good job, he and so like some men, they're not really being considered thinking about their future, not really trying to be that comfort and helper persons until she met Marlon. Marlon is a good man. Marlon don't make six figures. Marlon's not 6 feet tall. Okay, but Marlon's a good man. And I'm gonna tell you about something about Marlon's this was this year, well last year. Marlon's family, all his sisters and brother are married. This is Marlon. All his sisters and brothers are married. I think he has, I don't know how, I think 6 or 7 siblings. All of them are married. All of them with husbands. Now I don't know what they do in their jobs or how much money that they prove. But the thing about the point of it is that they married. The whole point about this, they got the man, they have each other. And right now, they're going through, like most people, they started a struggle, but as a character of a man, he's taking care of my sister. I'm pointing this out for a reason. I made this video for a reason why some women don't pick the right man. Because you're looking for some things, you have to be realistic. Ain't no man making no 5, 6. The average man's not making 5, 6 figures, but at least he got it. At least he does what he can with what he got. When he had the men that do work and go out and have a job. But he do the best if he care to take care of his wife. That's what you should appreciate. But I'm gonna show you a video, and I'm gonna put a couple commentators. The first one is the video. I'm gonna shout out to him. I got game. Then I'm going to O'Shea Duke Jackson's video. Then I'm going to come down to Phil Scott's show. I'm gonna let you hear this man's story about women that hate nice guys. That they hate women that hate nice guys.
Oh, I noticed your handbag and it looks really expensive. Oh, thank you.
This is a true story. One time, this guy, I think he said he was like from down south, and I think it was New York, matter of fact. He said he went to visit his family in New York. He's from down south. He said it was a hot summer day. He said it was a lot of, black females outside. And what he said is what made me know something is mentally wrong with them. He said he was there for 2 months, right? The first month, he was trying to be complete gentleman, Mr. Nice Guy. He said he wanted to try, and have a girl, to stay with him for the 2 months that he's going to be there. Someone that he could be dating or dealing with, while he's there to pass some time. The first month, he said he got no response. He couldn't even get a phone number. So he said he was talking very respectful. He was being nice. He wasn't being aggressive. None of that stuff. He didn't even get one phone number in 30 days. He said he was outside every day on the block trying to talk to a girl. Black girl. None of it worked. So he said the last month, remember he's only there for 2 months, so he said the last month, he said, you know what? I'm going to try something. I'm going to play the thug role. So he pretended to be a thug. He's not a thug. But, he started talking like street dudes. He put a little bop in his walk. He was, acting more aggressive. He started talking to these black girls. He called them a B every other sentence. Alright, so if he's talking to them for 10 minutes, that means he probably called them a B like 100 times. You know what happened? He slept with 2 of them in the same week. 2 days after the other. Like one would be Monday, the next one would be like Wednesday. So when he was playing Mr. Nice Guy, he didn't get no play whatsoever. No rhythm, no number, no nothing. He played the thug role. He pretended that he was a thug. He slept with 2 of them in the same week. Black females hate nice guys. That is a complete turn off. Nice to them. They don't respect it. They're not going to put out. They're not going to go along with what you're trying to do if you come off as a nice guy. If you're a person of color, you can only be a nice white guy and they'll still sleep with you. Because it's okay for them to date a white guy who is non-violent or considered a punk. But they don't want a black punk. someone who stays out of trouble, just goes to work, take care of his family, do the right thing. If you was considered a punk, because that's what they think of nice guys, that they're punks. They don't want a black punk, but they'll take a punk from a different race, which I find most disturbing. That only means that you really don't like your own people. If you can't sacrifice and humble yourself and be with someone that's not a thug of your own race, then you really don't like your people. And it's obvious because you don't even like yourself. So that's why the hatred is passed on to everyone that looks like them. But anyway, this guy, that came from down south, he was talking to the girls. He said it's a shame that he had to do that. He had to disrespect them for them to like him. He said he called them a B every other sentence. He slept with 2 of them in the same week by being disrespectful. He said when he was nice to the black females, they didn't like him. Black females hate nice guys unless you're a nice guy of a different race. But if you're a nice black guy, you get no play. You get no love, no rhythm, no callback, no number, no nothing. They want a black guy who is destroying himself and his own people. Because they don't care about their own people. That's why they could be with someone like that. These street dudes. That's why street dudes even exist, is because of black females. Because they keep dating them in their dysfunction. If they knew they couldn't get a girlfriend by being a street dude or a thug, they'll pull up their pants and start doing the right thing. But they know that's what attracts black females, the degeneracy. And then they got the nerve to be saying they want a real man, but they're not attracted to real men. Because real men are not street dudes and thugs and criminals. Those.
Wow. But luckily, my sister wasn't one of those kind of women that would like that. That's why I used her story. Now, I'm gonna give you an idea of why this is gonna happen in the future. This is O'Shea Duke Jackson's video, and he talks about with an article about what's gonna happen to some women in the future. This is the reason why. This is gonna lead up to my point.
Less than $20. Less than $10.
Why
Hi
some men
everyone, I'm
of
Joey,
our
the manager of the
culture
tech
go to
factory
different
in
women.
Guangzhou, China, and our coffee is only $5 and
Very soon we'll be in 2023, and soon after that we'll be in 2030. And there are a lot of predictions about the economy and the world and technology happening by 2030. But the most important prediction for me is the one that Morgan Stanley talked about in a recent article just a few days ago. And that talks about the fact that 45% of women will be single by 2030. Now, what is the age range of these women? Women aged 25 to 44 will be single by 2030. And yes, they will not have a male counterpart in their lives. Now, there's a few reasons that a woman who wrote this particular article in response to Jacob Morgan Stanley's analysis, the first option that she gave, or answer she gave, was that, women are focusing on their careers, going to grad school, traveling, establishing social circles, and taking the right time to find a guy. Secondarily, they're not having babies anymore, okay? And, they have better things to do. Now, I kind of want to talk about why this may be the case. Why are women really taking this alternative route? Number one is we hear that women are empowered. Single women are empowered. Now, at the same time, we hear that single men are pretty much incels. Single men who can't get women, there's a negative connotation with that. Either they are gay, right, or no woman wants them because they're undesirable. But now we cannot ever say the same thing for women. When women are single, usually they use certain rhetoric to describe them being single. I'm single by choice. I'm not settling for less. I know my self-worth. And I know what's going to happen for myself in the dating market, so I can wait for Mr. Right. And for those who don't want to be competitive, you'll hear them say things like, well, what's not for me isn't for me. If it'll happen, it will happen, things like that. Right? That's some of the things that we're talking about. But also, we're going to see some interesting double standards. Again, standards that really don't relate to what's going on to the male counterparts. And the standard is that women should be provided for, no matter what, that they do, and men should kind of have to put up with it. Now, when you talk about women looking for Mr. Right and can't find it, because no matter what they're saying, they're looking for Mr. Right and can't find it. The reason why they can't find Mr. Right is because Mr. Right isn't interested. Either he already has somebody or he's just not interested. And the reason why he's not interested is because he feels he's not going to get anything of value in return. So, really what's happening is the men who are staying single are not necessarily staying single because they can't get a woman. They're staying single because they feel like it's not worth it. But those guys are being talked bad about, according to this article, and being called incels, instead of really saying, hey, these guys are not even participating in the dating market at all because they don't want to lose their assets. They don't want to lose their wealth. They don't want to get tied up in dealing with somebody who doesn't appreciate them. That's what happens. And I think this particular TikTok video from this particular brother is explaining why men are not seeking active relationships.
Nobody tells you about marriage. The brutal truth. A man offers provisions and protection from the moment he says, I do. This is his duty, and he does not deviate, deprive, or withholding from his partner. It is consistent. A woman offers beauty, loyalty, and sexual exclusivity from the moment she says, I do. This is her duty, and she will deviate from it from time to time, regardless of a man's consistency. Every month, a man pays bills. He does not take a break. Every month, a woman cooks and cleans. She will take breaks. Every day, a man secures his home. He does not take a break. Every day, a woman maintains beauty and health. She will take a break. When a wife turns sex into privilege and withholds it, he does not take a break. When a woman lets herself go and become lazy, he does not take a break. When a woman goes into menopause and no longer wishes to sexually please her man, he does not take a break. When a wife and husband argue and fight and separate, they both may cheat, he does not take a break. A woman completely shuts off access from the time of separation up into divorce. If a man take a break, all will perish. If a man isn't consistent, all will fail. So let's stop questioning men who exercise their options.
Shout out to that brother. He's called Bruiser on TikTok, BRIZZR, The Groomsman Show. Kind of has the Kevin Samuels vibe going on there. And that's the reality of what's going on. But also, what we're not talking about is that women are being lied to and feeling like they don't need men. That's the one reality. And really, women depend on men for a whole lot. Typically, we're in relationships historically. And what's happened is that there is no interpersonal relationships between men and women. That's something I would agree with this article. Now, this article did call men selfish for not wanting to marry women or take care of kids. But the reality is that women in the market have established themselves as being independent, as not needing a man. And all men have done is just respond to what women have already put out there. And men have said, okay, listen, let's analyze the cost. What am I getting for my investment? That's what's going on. Like, if I have to be a man, even when you don't have to be a woman, when you get decided you don't want to be a woman, and actually, that's the culture now. I always have to be a man, even when you don't want to be the woman. Well, if you don't want to be a woman, I don't want to be a man. That's what you're seeing, and people don't like that. See, in any era, men are supposed to put up with getting less. It is supposed to be okay. That's how women look at it. For example, I was talking to this young lady the other day. She said something that's interesting. She said, you know what, I don't want to marry somebody from my particular country. And I would want to basically have a part-time husband. So I would want to see him like 2 or 3 times a week. And I said, well, does he have to provide for you 2 or 3 times a week? She goes, no.
At Booking.com, finding perfect isn't rocket science. Kitchen? Sorted. Hot tub? Why not?
No, he's going to take care of me every day. I just don't want to see him every day. I don't want to get bored with him. So I said, okay, so you want him to be a man every day, even when you get to decide that you don't want to be a woman every day. And she looked at me in disbelief because she couldn't understand that I explained it. And that's what's going on. You see, going back to the year, I like to talk about a lot on my channel, 1949, my grandfather was 31 years old. At that time, not a very educated man at all, but he was expected to take care of, at the time, his first wife, do great things in the community. Be a man, be a provider, be a builder. 1949 women's roles have changed tremendously, and in many cases, for the better. I'm not against anything women are doing professionally. I think it's great. But women's roles have become less, right? And I think men have understood that hey, women should have a lot more freedom and things like that, for sure. But women don't have to cook and clean. Women don't have to give you sex. Women don't have to even be respectful towards you. You have to do everything you had to do in 1949, though. But women don't have to do that. And see, this is what has made it so dangerous for society, because when men don't commit to marrying women and taking care of kids and families, it's bad for society. Even Ron Wills has a video on his business channel about there's so many American men who don't want to work right now. It's scary. Yeah, because when you don't have men working, you don't have men investing in families, and you get more single moms, you get less men with emotional intelligence out there, and it just gets bad for society. See, this article tells the truth in many ways, and I like it, but it does kind of talk about men abandoning their kids. No, not men abandoning their kids. It's men not wanting to be married, not because they're not selfish, because they're not getting anything out of it. And until women decide to offer something to the table for these guys, you're going to continue to see this, and you're going to continue to see more single women. They can say that they're single by choice and all of this, and they're not looking for Mr. Right, or they don't care, but they are looking for Mr. Right. One of the issues is that when the Mr. Right that they're looking for already gone. Most women are looking for the guy that they want to be with that maybe they don't even really qualify for, and that guy is gone, or that guy is not interested. And that's going to keep a lot of ladies single, because they don't know how to deal with men, they don't know how to understand men. And that's the situation we're dealing with. But God,
I can say less. So due to the first one, first video, hearing the guy's story, what he had to do just to get, particularly a group of women, to get some attention. He had to act like an idiot, and just to have relationships with them. Then we get to the second video, O'Shea's video, and this is what an article that he should point out in the article. Now you see why there are men are going to give up on women here. They're going to give up on women, and some are going to go to other parts of the world to find a woman that, even though they have less in that financially over there, but they're willing to understand the program it takes to make a relationship. Not that saying every woman over there in that country, but a good percentage of them are going to be married, and they snap. Dudes are going over just like that. Even though they have to be wise on the woman that they pick when they go over there, but the point of it is, hey, they ain't gonna have no problem find a man. And the reason why I use that story about my sister had to come to the realization that she finally, luckily she won't be, and she's in her late 40s and about to turn 50. So this is to the younger women. Do you want to wait till you to get to your 40s and 50s and 60s? Look at your older women and how some of them are not with men, because in their heyday they was just like some of y'all, but they had to go through all these emotional humps, and they didn't appreciate the men that they have. This is a message. So when you got a good man, you better appreciate him. Like my brother-in-law, who has a good job, you better appreciate him. And I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. And this is what some of your women out there responded. Why? Now I'm gonna go to the Phillips show. And here's the saying: the Passport Bro movement is going mainstream. This is from O'Shea to Philly. This is going to happen. I'm not saying this. This is going to happen. It's picking up steam. You know, it used to be a pretty face, and the pretty it don't do it no more. It's not just a pretty face and a pretty butt. If you have a man, you better be glad you have a man. That's what I'm saying. That's all what I'm saying.
The Passport Bro movement is about
If you want a man.
freedom for a group of men who never really experienced a lot of freedom, which is black American men. Now, white men have been traveling and going to different countries for a very, very long time. And what white men have done in other countries has nothing to do with black American men whatsoever. We have, covered and seen even the lies that's been spoken on black American men, trying to compare what, some white men have done that was predatory and downright criminal in other countries, saying black men gonna do the same, because they have to try to shame the black man. And we get into some of that, why the black man is so shamed so much. But Yahoo had wrote an article, and I had talked about this on the community tab when I was actually out of town, and I didn't like the title because it's not all black women. That's a lie. It's not even black women per se. It is the modern American woman who feels that she has no control anymore on men in this country through the Passport Bro movement is the ones who's actually having an issue and problem. But let's go through, this article is written by our opinion. Now, I don't know if this is a man or a woman. I tried to click the name. They didn't offer any social media or anything. But as they say in the article, a growing group of thousands of black men is preaching to more men on social media platforms that women in other countries are the best source for a traditional woman to settle down with. Now, that part is true. He said, just follow the hashtag and you'll see black men of all ages describing their experiences with opposite sex in other countries compared to the women in the United States. Oh, brothers, I was also told to give you a message from South Africa that one of the sisters told me to tell you that you brothers need to come to South Africa and marry you some wives over there. I was told that how you treated in America by these women is wrong, is that you need to be catered to, you need to be spoiled and treated right, and a lot of you brothers are loving. You put up with kids that's not even yours. You deal with so many different things in America, and I was told that there are South African women right now ready to marry you brothers and will not even give you the problems that you are given in America. This is what I was told, so I'm only relaying that message to a lot of you brothers. I had one of the brothers ask me recently, hey, Phil, how's South Africa, man? Because, I want to look for a wife, but I want to go to South Africa and do it. You can do it in South Africa because, one, you don't need a visa. If you're an American citizen, you don't need a visa, brother. So you can go to South Africa for 90 days, right off the rip. And I think if you brothers start going to South Africa, you'll be sold. If you're looking for a wife, you'll find one. I promise you that. If you can't find you one, you're not really looking for one. Continuing. The Passport Bro movement, they say, could be seen as an annex to the same inner peace and happiness concept. Now, it's true. A lot of these men are looking for happiness. These men are looking for a family. A lot of these brothers don't want to be by themselves. When you have 51% of black men who are single and childless, that gets very alone. And they want somebody, but they do not feel they have to be taking up Pookie and Ray Ray's, kids out here. They got to be putting up with these females having their epiphany stage, and all of a sudden now you're getting your act right. No, these men deserve women who have not had no children, that is ready to be wives. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I support the Passport Bro movement on that simple reason. It's because I want to see these men with families. Like me, I have a family, okay? Been married 11 years, got kids, dogs, just family, right? I want to see the brothers have the same thing I have. And if they got to leave America to go get it, I'm all in support of it. Now, they say that the brothers, they say, who don't feel needed or admired by the
sisters in America are looking for love overseas, according to what the article is saying. They say they're traveling destinations worldwide to find happiness and a partner. Now they say black women and other women of color in America, they say, have gone to their TikToks and social media accounts to speak against the Passport Bro movement passionately. Yes, that has happened. We have responded and reviewed to a lot of those videos here on this channel. Now they say some black women in America already, they say, have so much on their shoulders. For men, they say this movement is the last straw that broke the camel's back. They say most of their rebuttals are that Passport Bros are weak. Yes, they like to say you're weak, and that's a good way to keep you here. I want you really to stay because I have this like crazy reverse psychology I like to play on black men because it actually worked for a very long time. So I really want you, so I'm going to insult you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to call you weak. Well, the weak card doesn't work anymore because the brothers have discovered passports. They have discovered the global entry card. They have discovered Clear. They've discovered all that, okay? They've discovered that they can go places and they're not called weak. They've discovered that. And that's the problem. They continue to say that they call the black Passport Bros weak. Black men don't know how to court strong black women. That's not a good thing to put in the article, Mr. or Miss Pena. They say some women believe that the Passport Bros' true intentions are to have relations. And say with foreign women, and they're not searching for love, they can do that here, and it's too easily accessible here, so why would you travel to do that? That's kind of dumb. And say other women have gone as far as to say they're emulating their white masters who have been notoriously known for colonizing and going to third world countries to find submissive wives for decades. We know we've covered that here, those crazy stories as well. And say some women stated that they're getting foreign women at the exchange rate, as foreign women only want those men for a little bit of money that they give them, and they aren't falling in love with them either. Don't women in this country talking about they want a man with six figures? How many times have we heard that? Guess what? That's wanting a man for his money. All women are looking for a man with resources. It's just what you can't compete with in America is that same man's resource. You say, oh, I want that man to make $40,000, $50,000. That money quadruples a lot of times when he goes overseas. So he has a job where he can work from home. He's still making an American dollar, but he can be, like we talked about earlier, in South Africa, where for every $1 he has, about 15, 16 rand. You can't compete with that. Where he can go rent a home. I know somebody right now that got a home in South Africa, 6-bedroom home they're renting. 6-bedroom. With a pool, with house help to clean every day, with people to cut the yard, do all the work, and all they're paying is $1,000 a month. You can't compete with that. That's what you can't compete with. Nothing you say can compete with the things that I've been told and I've seen myself, and I can tell these brothers myself what I've seen. And I'm not looking for no wife, but I can tell them right now that if they go and look for a wife or a better life, they can definitely, I'm a big proponent of Africa. I'm not a proponent of Latin America. Sorry, that's just not our people. I mean, we do have black people there, but it's not controlled by black people. So all that racism in Latin America, I'm sorry, if I'm going to deal with racism, I'd rather stay in America, or at least I got some rights, right? But these brothers is trying to go to Africa, right? And if they want to, they go into all these, listen, they want to go to Thailand, that's them. I'm like I say, I'm not a proponent of that. I've never been a big proponent of that because black people need to be in place where black people control. But do them. Regardless of whatever country they're going to, you can't compete with that. The cost of living is what you can't compete with whatsoever. And a lot of these men of upward mobility. They try to say, oh, these men can't get passports because they got child support. They ain't got no child support issues. Because they couldn't get a passport, they had child support issues. That's the problem. A lot of these women continue to say that they aren't falling in love with these men. They say black women, they say who are anti-passport bro, have also called these men scum, predators, in some instances called them, pedos. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, we had one we covered on here that did the exact same thing. And so even more interesting is the feedback from women in other countries. So they're also going their TikToks in support of Passport Bros, stating that some women in the Western world don't know how to treat their men. Some say American women lack femininity, and when these men get to other countries, they treat them like men should be treated. And say they proudly speak on their traditional values and beliefs, even if they aren't from countries such as the United States and United Kingdom. Now, remember we covered a video from the Filipina P. And boy, the comment section on that video was crazy. I was sitting in my bed just thumbing through them comments saying, boy, listen at this. I mean, boy, them women were mad at the Filipina P, and shout out to her, but they were mad. Now, say, however, they say a group of black men also is claiming to be against Passport Bros, claiming they're a group of guys with no game. The bros couldn't land a successful black woman because
ever wanted to play Robin Hood and take money from the government?
Yeah, I got a comment about the minute that what is about game? What is about a game? That's what's problem with people that we're playing games with one another when it should be about getting into a relationship. Sometimes you get to a certain point in life you don't want to deal with game. You know, maybe it's a certain type of element that there's some men like that, but most men don't want to deal with the game or whatever, or you don't have no talk. No, because it's not that some men don't have the talk. Some women don't seem like they have the time to be friendly. Some women don't feel like when some men do that they think you might be creepy or something like that, or no, you coming too. I'm not, or they're not ready right now, and that's what it is. There's some men that maybe they ask for their number when some women give you a number that was a wrong number. There's women that do that, and then there's women that they just feel like you're not calling up, you're calling too much, or whatever. It all comes back down to that. It has nothing to do with game. It gets to the point when you get to a certain, you don't want to deal with game. You know, it's just crazy. And you need to date. It should be about getting to a relationship, not try to be how many women you can knock up and whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Ever wanted to play Robin Hood and take money from the government and give it back to the people who
it's crazy.
Most? I'm going to review.
Bros claiming they're a group of guys with no game. The bros couldn't land a successful black woman because they lacked intelligence, or similar to what black women were stating. Say the Passport Bros, they say are a group of liars looking to exploit different countries because they were never accepted in social circles where they're from. Yes, we've heard those particular guys say those things, and most of the ones that's been loud about that are your dating coaches, because they really need the quote-unquote stereotypical passport bro to go to them for coaching sessions to get women, and they say, you know what, I'm not worried with these women, I'm checking out the process.
Right.
So the Passport Bro movement is actually going to get bigger in 2023, and what I see is going to happen because of the Passport Bro movement, I really think it's going to happen. There's going to be a rise of the Plain Janes. And you remember the video where the woman was talking about the Plain Janes, and really she was talking about women that just the ones that get the husbands, basically. It's going to be a rise of those women come to the forefront in 2023 because the Passport Bro movement is going to grow so much that they're going to have to stand out a lot more, those particular women, and they're going to be trying to get these Passport Bros before they even leave the country. And that's fine. Most of these guys actually want a woman here, but they just don't want you to be so freaking westernized and anti, family structure and anti-man and feminist and all. They just don't want that. So I'm not saying every woman here is on that. I would never say that. But this is good, and I hope more and more brothers get their passports. I hope you today have decided as your New Year resolution, I'm going to the passport office this week and obtaining my passport. I'm going to pay for expedited service. Please pay for expedited service. Go ahead and do that, because we need you brothers to correct American society. We need you to correct it, and the only way it's going to be corrected is through the Passport Bro movement, because these women not stupid. They understand that these are the men of upward mobility who's traveling. They know this. They know. They're not going to tell you that, but they know. They may fool Pookie and Ray Ray, but they don't be stuck with it. Because a lot of brothers will say, wait a minute. You got Pookie and Ray Ray. What are you mad about? Pookie and Ray Ray is right there. That's who you wanted, Pookie and Ray Ray. No, they actually wanted you after they get through their Pookie and Ray Ray phase. But what a lot of you saying is, stay in Pookie and Ray Ray phase. I'm going to holler at Delta some tickets. I'm going to holler at United. I'm going to holler at Singapore Airlines. I'm going to holler at Qatar. I ain't got nothing to do with y'all. I'm building up my figure fly miles. Hell, I'm trying to get diamond medallion status with Delta. That's what I'm trying to do this year. I ain't worrying with none of y'all. And they can't stand that. So, yeah, brothers, keep getting your passports, like I said. And I hope you find love, find it. And those of you, like I said, once again, that message I got from South Africa, don't sleep on South Africa. Go over there. There's a lot of women looking for brothers over there.
If you were born after 1957, here's how you can get an extra $1,400.
Now watch, it's gonna be some women gonna be mad because he said something like that. But it's the same type of women that's making videos and making and snide comments. And like I said in the previous video, you only gonna make yourself look bad. We're trying to tell you, it's over. Remember, it was a time you can. There's some of you used to play that game, and you could shift one guy, you could treat the nice guy, because if the nice guy who you wouldn't want to be bothered with, because he was too lame. See, even the lame guys is going to start going. So it's okay, because it could be a situation that can turn around tomorrow for a guy who really don't have to adjust his personality. Just like what the one video said, just to really get to know a woman. Not every woman is around the world stuck on that foolishness like they are here in the Western world, like places like America. This is what you got to be. You got to switch your personality. It's like you almost have to be someone with I hate to use the terminology, bipolar, just to say, wow, oh, I thought you were going to turn this way. Oh, I thought you were going to be an easy dude. We ain't got to go through that no more. That's why it's a wrap. Some men are saying it's a wrap. I'm trying to tell you. And we don't know how some men, and if you got that portion of men going, and you just never know. And any person, man or woman, knows that sometimes how you get a raise on your job, whatever, you can be starting out a job at $25,000. And within 6 months, you can go to 40,000, 50,000, and that's for the men that are working. So you never know how a man's gonna get promoted when the man's doing overtime, and everything. But you willing to pass that up because he don't meet to your income requirement. You understand what I'm saying? And really, I was showing the video of my sister, and this is the type of man, because it took her a while to get her act together. And my cousin, she's married too. She's married too. But if you want to be married, that's for the women that want to be married. And you tired playing games and having guys meeting the wrong type of man to jerk your personality around, then that's what you need to do. That's all what I'm saying. But the reason,
is truly an honorable.
now once you hear this video,
And it is instituted by God Almighty. Marriage did not find its beginning in Hollywood or in social view of things, but rather this is the mindset of God. It is the orchestration of His power and on His command. It is therefore not to be entered into unadvised, but reverently and with great discretion. It is into this union these two are now coming to be joined together. If there's any say amen? Marriage involves more than the blending of two people. It also includes a third person, Jesus Christ himself, who gives meaning and guidance and direction to the marriage. When Jesus Christ presides in a marriage, it is then and only then that we can call it a Christian marriage. Theologians and other philosophers have given their definition of marriage. Wayne Oates says this: that marriage is a covenant of responsible love, a fellowship, check this out now, of repentance and forgiveness. David Small says this, that marriage is one new life existent in two persons. And I like that one because marriage is not the giving up of you being you and the giving up of you being you, but rather you continue to be you and you continue to be you, but the two of you coming together now is the creation of a new person. We will all thrive off of the love that you show to each other. Not just be a blessing to you two, but to be a blessing to all of us. So I like that one new life existed in two persons. Last but not least, on that same note, when God comes back, he's going to hold you accountable for this marriage. And he's going to hold you accountable for this marriage. Together you will present to him what you've done. This magnificent present that God has given to each of you to help complete what he's called you to do in terms of his purpose. Can I get an amen? Amen. Marlon Clemente Wilkerson. This last name I've known most of my life. 50 some odd years I have known this family. It is such a privilege to watch life work out itself. Now I'm talking to older folks right now on this part of the life as the world turns. Talk to me, somebody. It has turned and the flowers back there just fell down on the turn of the world. God is trying to tell us something, amen? Marvin Clemente Wilkerson and Keisha Nicole Thomas, I require and charge you both as you shall stand in the presence of Almighty God, before whom the secrets of all hearts are disclosed, that having duly considered the holy covenant that you are about to make, you do now declare each to the other, and declare before us your pledge of faith each to each other. Be well assured that if these vows that you're about to make are kept unbroken, as God's holy word demands, and if steadfastly you endeavor to do the will of your heavenly Father, God will do so much for your marriage. The three things I want to point out. First and foremost, he will bless your marriage. And in so doing, he will endow you with the necessary prosperity, longevity, and success. You can stay married and you can be married, and marriage can be a blessing. But the second thing that God will do is that he will grant you fulfillment in your marriage. I'm a child out of the 50s. I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I can still remember the song that a couple of artists sang, and they sang the song called I Can't Get No Satisfaction. And I try and I try and I try, but I can't get none. And they're right, because you can't make yourself satisfied. But God holds the key to it. And blessing each of you with hearts. Learn how to be content with what you have. Last but not least, God will establish
That's it. That's it. You can't get it more plainer than that. Women, you hear what that man is saying? Men, and to some men too. That's the only way it's gonna last. It's not about tearing each other down, because like he said, it all destruct apart. To the American women and other women around the world, listen to that message. In Western countries, you need to hear that message. It's not just black women, but women in general. And you're not gonna make a bad boy. God has to clean up the bad boy. You can't. God can't clean up the bad woman, guys. God can. That's the message in this video. And if you want long-lasting relationship, listen to what that man just say. So you won't keep going from one marriage to another marriage to another marriage to another marriage. Hurt relationship. That's why I say, why the men are leaving and trying to find that particular kind of woman, to understand what that man in the video was trying to say, the reverend's trying to say. Alright, so my question to the women is, and it could be as well as to the men, do you know what love is? Because that's love. Do you know what love is? Do you understand? You just don't toss it aside like a piece of furniture. Love stand to the test of time. That's how, and you need each other in many ways. Are you willing to love each other? No matter when you're sick, when you're broke, when you're down, when life's a pressure, are you willing to go through that? Do you have a humbleness as a woman? Like the man has the unique stand as a man to stand. That takes great character. And for you younger women that's going to hear this video, that's what it takes. Same to the young men. It's not about you. It's about two. So my name is James. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope this is a wake-up call. And for the older women, you need to hear what that minister's saying. Are you willing to give yourself aside? Otherwise, if you don't, quit complaining. If you're not willing to do that, if you're single, if you want a relationship, but if you don't want a relationship, don't discourage other women that discourage, because you're bitter. Because you couldn't keep a man. Don't do that to the younger women. So that's pretty much the video. But yeah, if you really, you gotta change your mindset to change your heart. And for the women to stop making them videos. Stop putting down your men. And if you get a good man, it's a nice man, you treat him just as well you would give you all like you give to that bad man. Because at least you get something out of it in return. Someone with a good heart. So my name is James. Till next time, I hope you enjoy this video. Share it, like it, wherever you go. It's not about tearing down. It's about waking up. About waking people up. Because that's where women in America and around the world, in certain parts of the world, gonna face. You hear what Phil said, O'Shea said, and the other guy say? Okay. Ladies, it's time to put your ego to a side. In education, what kind of job you got. It's time to think about the future. So my name is James. Till next time, take care.